No need to take any Relaxium on tonight's show because O'Reilly, Smith, and Carville are cooking with gas. James Carville, you were on my old buddy Jim Acosta's show, and you said, hey, people tell you they're worried about the midterms, and you say you should be because there's a good chance that Trump will try to pull something. What do you think is going to happen?
Well, I don't know. What I think is going to happen is Virginia and New Jersey are going to be Democratic blowouts. And I think he's going to read the election records. By the way, there are more people that live in Virginia and New Jersey than live in New York City. And we ought to talk also, we talk about things that happen in New York City. We should talk about we got Sterling candidates also in Virginia and New Jersey. And I think he's going to see this big, beautiful bill is about 25 points underwater. It's going to be 30 points underwater. He's going to see a massive defeat coming, and he's going to try to do anything he can to extricate himself from that defeat. And I would not put it at all past him to try to call martial law or declare that there's some kind of national emergency in the country or anything like that, because the hoof prints are coming. You can hear them, and they're going to get a shellacking in November of 2026.
Bill O'Reilly, do you believe the President of the United States is capable of such perfidy as suggested by James Carville?
Well, after hearing Carville, I'm buying a condo in Luxembourg tomorrow. I'm getting out. Martial law, my God. You're going to have tanks in my driveway? No, I don't believe that will happen. I'm willing to bet James 18 muffalettas that there will not be martial law. I'll throw in some crawfish and whatever else he wants. And this kind of, I don't know, scare tactic, would that be it? I'm not scared. Maybe Stephen A's a little scared. He's got a little perspiration there on his forehead. But I'm not worried about cheating or anything else. I think that the economy will dictate who wins in the midterms. And if the big bill gets passed, people have more money in their pockets. They won't have to worry. Small businesses will hire more because they won't have to worry about higher taxes. The rich, the fabulous rich, will spend more, buy more luxury items. And I want to go on the record as scolding Jeff Bezos, the publisher of the Washington Post. He spends $50 million in Venice. Isn't there anywhere in the USA, Jeff baby?
Couldn't have done it at the Venetian in Vegas. He could have done it at the Venetian in Vegas. Same thing. Same thing.
Come on. Oprah would have gone anywhere. Anywhere.
So Stephen A.
You could do it. You could have done it.
Stephen A., where is your scareometer on what happens in the midterms?
Well, it's at about a 5, but let me first say this, Bill. The head is shiny when you have a receding hairline. I'll admit that.
I don't make any hair comments.
To confess that I have to confess.
We're like the
that
stages of grief on this show.
If I should say, I think I'm quite handsome, if I should say so myself. So I'm gonna get that out of the way. That's number one. Number two, let me push back a little bit on James with this one point that he's making. You've forgotten more politics than I know. So I totally respect your knowledge and where you're coming from, James. Here's the one thing that I would say, however. Let's not underrate the Democrats' ability to mess this up for themselves. Let's take into account Hamdani, who just won the Democratic nomination for the mayor's position in New York City. You've got a guy that's an avowed, renowned Democratic socialist. You've got people like AOC and Bernie Sanders supporting him. When Bill brings up the economy, I mean, it comes from you, James, maybe not that direct quote, but it's the economy, stupid. We've always remembered this, from the 90s with Clinton and what have you. And when you as a party are focusing your attention on that, believing that that is something that can sift through the United States of America and appeal somehow to voters across this country, that's a sad, sad, big-time mistake that the Democrats are absolutely potentially capable of making. I don't think that can be ignored. If what you're saying, James, is true, and the focus is on the economy, and some folks who are left, but center left, maybe a tilt more left, but not far progressive left, you're right. But I don't put it past the Democrats, some members of the Democratic Party, to mess it up for the collective whole. And that is what I think can get in the way without Trump having to resort to anything that you intimated.
Well, let me briefly say, and Donnie, one thing he did, he ran an economy. His whole campaign was based on the cost of living. He didn't run on any of this kind of social stuff. I mean, let's give the guy credit. He was very disciplined. He was very people evaluated everything else. He ran as an economic progressive, not totally my wing of the party, I would say, but he did run a highly disciplined, economy-focused campaign. And if we do that, we will be successful. If we get caught up in a rabbit here and there, we won't be successful. I take your point to heart, Stephen. It's a very good point. But I just would say that he did run an economic-focused campaign. I mean, I don't think city grocery is going to work. But
right. The only thing that you're going to have to deal with in the midterms is if the Republicans use that the Democrats are now openly calling themselves socialists and how they play that in terms of the perception of what you want out of the economy. We have 1 minute left on the show. I want to give it to you, Bill O'Reilly. We just got reporting here at NewsNation. My friend Tim Burchett from Tennessee, Republican, says there may be a side deal that the Freedom Caucus will vote for this deal, and then what they don't like about it can be remedied later with further legislation or by executive order. Do you buy that?
Yes, absolutely. It is the backroom deal all the time. So that shouldn't be of any surprise, and I believe that the big bill will be passed, and then we'll let the capitalist economy run. And if it works, then Trump will prosper. If it doesn't, his last 2 years will be hellish. And I just want to send a message to Mr. Handsome over there. I got Tuesday open on the No Spin News. I'm going to call my pals, the OJs. They're going to back me up. Yep. So Tuesday,
next Tuesday?
We're going to do the...
All right, I'm into Leland's time.
This coming Tuesday.
Accept the offer, Stephen, although he may have boxed you in with a date where he knows you're not available.
Thank
you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.